जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Okay, so yesterday we read till here. Um, we discussed about the bhajan by Shri Narottam Das Thakur. So today we will be reading this verse. So with verse 15, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Maharaj begins offering his obeisances, his respects, directly to Krishna himself. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Maharaj was an inhabitant of Vrindavan and a great devotee. He had been living with his family in Katwa, a small town in the district of Burdwan in Bengal. Our Veena Mataji is from Burdwan. And Mataji, this is same, right? Burdwan is same as Burdwan, right? So our Reena Mataji is also from Burdwan in Bengal. And Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Maharaj was inhabitant of Vrindavan. He was a great devotee. And then he was living with his family in Katwa, which is a small town in Bengal, where Mataji also lives. He worshipped Radha Krishna with his family. And once there was some misunderstanding among his family members about devotional service. And he was advised by Lord Nityananda Prabhu in a dream to leave his home and go to Vrindavan. So, prior to going to Vrindavan, he was living with his family in Bardhaman in Bengal in a place called Katwa. And then there was some misunderstanding with his family members pertaining to devotional service. And at that time, Lord Nityananda Prabhu appeared in the dream of Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Maharaj, and he advised him that he should leave his home and he should go to Vrindavan. Although he was very old, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Maharaj, he was very old. He was not able to see properly, he could not hear properly, he could not write properly, his hands would shake. Although he was very old, still he started out that very night and went to live in Vrindavan. Here, there is a very important point that one should keep in mind, that this is the importance of accepting instruction. When Lord Nityananda Prabhu advised him or instructed um, Goswami Maharaj to leave his family and to go to Vrindavan, despite so many challenges, so many difficult situations, and at that time, the situation was not that you book a train ticket or you book a flight ticket and you just sit on the train or in the flight and then you come to Vrindavan. No, it was not like that. He had to walk or at the most some bullock cart. But yet, that very night, he took the instruction, he took that advice, and he left his home and he started for Vrindavan. So, this shows that by this example, by his own example, our acharyas are showing us the importance of taking instruction from spiritual master. We should never think that, okay, somebody who is guiding me is meant just for the purpose when I need to take some guidance. Otherwise, if some guidance is coming or if they are saying something, it's okay whether I follow it or not. I will follow it when the situation is right. No, that is a wrong mindset. With that kind of mindset, it will take us a very long time to progress in spiritual life. But we should be very careful that when there is an advice from your senior, from your mentor, from your guide, then we should be very careful. We should be very attentive of, or rather, we should be very cautious that we follow such an instruction or such an advice or guidance. While he was there, While he was there means when Goswami Maharaj, when Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, when he uh, reached Vrindavan, and while he was in Vrindavan, he met some of the six Goswamis, the principal disciples of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He was requested to write the Chaitanya Charitamrit by the devotees of Vrindavan. So when he was there, he was very old. He had difficulty seeing. He had difficulty moving his hands to write something. He could not hear properly. So many challenges. But the devotees of Vrindavan and some of the Goswamis, they requested Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Maharaj that please write the Chaitanya Charitamrit. Um, and why was he requested? If I'm not mistaken, the pastime goes like this, that our Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Maharaj had heard the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu directly from the lotus lips of Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur. I hope I'm not saying something wrong here, but as far as I remember, what I've heard from senior devotees. And that is why the Goswamis of Vrindavan and the other devotees in Vrindavan, they all came to Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Maharaj and requested him that please write the Chaitanya Charitamrit. Please write the pastimes as you have heard it from your master, from your spiritual master. So, although he began this work at a very old age, by the grace of Lord Chaitanya, he finished it. Today, it remains the most authoritative book on Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's philosophy and life. When Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Maharaj was living in Vrindavan, there were not too many temples. At that time, the three principal temples were those um, of Madan Mohan, Govindji, and Gopinath. These were the three principal temples at that time in Vrindavan. If we go to Vrindavan now, if we go for darshan, we will see there are many temples, more than 200, more than 500 temples in Vrindavan, and people don't know which temples are coming from the Goswamis, which are the Goswami temples and which are newer temples. But here, Srila Prabhupada is giving us this information that at that time, not too many temples were there in Vrindavan, and the three principal temples, Madan Mohanji, Govindji, and Gopinath. These were the three principal temples that were there in Vrindavan. As a resident of Vrindavan, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Maharaj offers his respects to the deities in these temples and requests God's favor. My progress in spiritual life is very slow, so I am asking your help. So Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he is one of the Manjaris, very intimate uh, maid servants of Srimati Radharani. What to speak of some ordinary soul or some exemplary devotee? No, he was not only a pure devotee, but he is one of the Manjaris. But this is the humility that a pure devotee holds within his heart. And out of his humility, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Maharaj writes that my progress in spiritual life is very slow. So I'm asking your help. So I'm asking for your favor. In the 15th verse of the Chaitanya Charitamrit, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Maharaj offers his obeisances to the Madan Mohan Vigraha, who the deity who can help us progress in Krishna consciousness. Madan Mohan Vigraha, um, yes. So here Srila Prabhupada is mentioning, in the execution of Krishna consciousness, our first business is to know Krishna. Who is Krishna? And what is our relationship with him? To know Krishna is to know one's self, that is one's actual self. And to know oneself is to know one's relationship with Krishna. Why is Srila Prabhupada saying this? That once you know who is Krishna, and once you understand what is my relationship, what is your relationship with Krishna individually, then at once we will be able to understand who I really am. Because Jivera Jivera Swarup Hoy Nitya Krishna Das. We are eternal servants of Krishna. So as soon as we understand our own identity, we will immediately be able to understand what is our direct relationship with Krishna. Who are we in the spiritual world? What is our role in the spiritual world? That Swarup will open to us. Since this relationship can be learned by worshipping the Madan Mohan Vigraha, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Maharaj first establishes his relationship with Shri Shri Madan Mohan. So these three principal Vigraha, why are they called the principal Vigrahas? Because here, the first in this verse, Srila Prabhupada is clarifying that Madan Mohan Vigraha, if one really wants to know who Krishna is, if one really wants to know what our relationship or what their personal relationship is with Krishna, then they should take shelter of Shri Shri Madan Mohan Vigraha, and they should pray, they should worship Madan Mohan Vigraha. Then this relationship will be disclosed to them. So that is why Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Maharaj is first establishing his relationship with Shri Shri Madan Mohan Vigraha. When this is established, in the 16th verse, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Maharaj offers his obeisances, his respects to the functional deity, that is Govindaji. The Govind deity is called the functional deity because he shows us how to serve Radha and Krishna. So once we know what is my identity, what is my spiritual identity, what is my role in the spiritual world, then we should take shelter of Shri Shri Govindaji. Why? Because Govind deity is called the functional deity. So this is Sambandha Vigraha is Madan Mohan, then Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayojan. So, uh, so Prayojan Vigraha, if I'm not wrong, is Govindaji, functional deity. So Shri Shri Govindaji shows us how we have to serve Radha and Krishna. The Madan Mohan deity simply establishes that I am your eternal servant. With Govindaji, however, there is actual acceptance of service that now I am going to serve Shri Shri Radha and Krishna. First is I understand that I am their eternal servant. I am Krishna's eternal servant. Then the next is how I am going to serve them. So now we start serving them. So that is the role of, or that is the deity, Radha Govindaji, functional deity who will show us how to serve Radha and Krishna. Govindji resides eternally in Vrindavan. In the spiritual world of Vrindavan, the buildings are made of touchstone. The cows are known as Surabhi cows, the givers of abundant milk. In the material world, we know that the cows, um, Gaumata, they will give milk when they conceive and when they deliver a child, a calf. And after some months they will for some years they will give the milk. Then at one point they will stop giving milk. But in the spiritual world, these cows are called Surabhi cows, and they eternally keep giving milk for Krishna. They never stop giving milk. The buildings are made of touchstone, not with the cement and all these things that we use in the material world. But what is a touchstone? As soon as you touch the stone and you desire something, the desire is fulfilled, whatever you desire for. Then the trees are known as wish fulfilling trees, for they yield whatever one desires. In Vrindavan, Krishna herds the Surabhi cows, and he is worshipped by hundreds and thousands of gopis, the cowherd girls, who are all goddesses of fortune. In the material world, most people just know about Mother Lakshmi Devi, and they pray to Mother Lakshmi so that they get lot of wealth and opulence and all. But in the spiritual world, Krishna is worshipped by thousands, hundreds and thousands of gopis, and all these gopis are actually, they are all goddesses of fortune. They are all of them are goddesses of fortune, and they are worshipping Krishna. So when Krishna descends to the material world, this same Vrindavan that is there in the spiritual sky descends with him, along with him, just as an entourage accompanies an important personage. So if suppose our Prime Minister Narendra Modi is traveling, you will never see Narendra Modi is traveling alone in a car, he's driving by himself. You will never see that. Whenever Narendra Modi is traveling for some work or some purpose, he will be accompanied by so many other cars, by his entourage. There will be people, there will be his bodyguards will be there, the other ministers will be there, important personals will be there traveling with him, his assistants will be there, secretaries will be there. So all these people will be traveling with him. So so if in this material world, if we see this, then what to speak of the Supreme Lord himself? So when he comes down, when he descends to this material world from the spiritual sky, he comes with his entire entourage. Because when Krishna comes to his land, sorry, because when Krishna comes, his land also comes. Vrindavan is considered to exist beyond the material world. Therefore, devotees take shelter of the Vrindavan in India, for it is considered to be a replica of the original Vrindavan. Although with our material eyes, because of our impurities, we may not be able to see the actual Vrindavan with these eyes. But when one becomes completely purified, they will be able to see, they will be able to actually behold the original side of the spiritual the spiritual sky, Vrindavan that is there in the spiritual sky, despite being in the material world, because this Vrindavan is non-different from that Vrindavan. Although one may complain that no Kalpavriksha, wish-fulfilling trees exist there, when the six Goswamis were there, Kalpavrikshas were present. People may complain that, oh, when the six Goswamis were there, the Kalpavrikshas were there. You go under the tree, you wish for something and you get it. But now they are not present. It is not that one can simply go to such a tree and make demands. One must first become a devotee. The Goswamis would live under a tree for one night only, and the trees would satisfy all their desires. For the common man, this may all seem very wonderful, but as one makes progress in devotional service, all this can be realized. Not just knowledge that you hear or read, but something that you will realize as you make progress in devotional service. So with that, we'll stop here. Krishna willing, we'll again read tomorrow. Thank you so much, dear devotees, for your kind association. Vansha kalpatrubhyascha kripasindhudhayeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha ananta koti vaishnavvrinda ki jai. जगत गुरु शिला प्रभुपाद की जय, शिला गुरु महाराज की जय, निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे, हरि हरि बोल. Kindly please unmute and loudly let me hear your Hari Bol.
हरि
हरि
बोल हरि बोल
हरि
हरि
बोल.
बोल.